Hey, it's the Michigan Mayor. I'm back here with episode 3 of my Victoria 3 Michigan playthrough. Now, I figured out what was making the game slow. It's this diplomatic play. If I came here and I click states, it runs fine. Yeah. So we'll wait till these diplomatic plays fire, we'll win the wars, and that should be the end of that. Alright, so the paper mill is going to take there's no sound. I'll try that. That should be okay. Turn my headphones down. These should fire any day. The one for Pennsylvania looks like it's almost done. And this one's in its attack phase. War with Pennsylvania. Is our army sitting over here? Yeah, it is. War with Ecuador broke out. Okay, that fixed it. I don't know why that menu thing sitting here made it lag so bad. Oh well. That's weird. Alright, so we hit Pennsylvania for our first time and we took some land. As soon as the construction sector gets to full employment, I'm going to want to build another one. Before I build a paper mill, it's be 30 more weeks. How long for a farm? Yeah, I'm going to build this farm first. It'll take 17 weeks. And it's going to grow fruit. So I changed this production method to be citrus orchards. And it'll just have simple farming. So there's our maize farm, growing corn in Michigan. And I took Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania has a logging camp and a manor house filled with aristocrats. Okay. And that's it. So now this war here, we're just gonna sit here and wait for them to run out of money. Their war support's gonna drop faster than mine. Since they can't get here, I'm going to demobilize my army so I don't have to pay for it. And then in 90 days I'll remobilize just the barracks. Yeah, so the construction regulator starts off with concrete, but I don't have concrete, I just have wood. So I'll build a construction sector so it's on wood, and then I'll remove it so the regulator is fixed. That fixes the construction regulator. So the way this works is the construction regulator demands wooden construction, which is produced by the construction sector, which has to hire based on profits, and I can sell it. See, I don't even own this. This construction sector is owned by the bank. In normal vanilla Victoria 3, the construction sectors are always owned by the government. We need railways. Railways allow goods to be transported more easily. Therefore, the captains of industry of Michigan demand the construction of a railway within the next 5 years. So we have until 1734 to build a railway. So, let's do it. So down here it's called infrastructures. And we'll plop it in. Now this is going to need wood and coal. Engines. Engines and coal. Now engines are going to need steel. Steel is going to need iron. So we're going to have to build this chain down for our railroads. And then too, after this war goes down, we're going to go and take New York, and that's going to be our main harbor state, where we base our navy, where we stretch out and colonize different parts of the world for different resources that we might need. It looks like all these countries are like at war with me. All these African countries and these countries over here. So in this alternate world, maybe like the aristocrats are kind of united and they wage war with each other for fun, and I'm a big threat to them. I do have the game rules on harsh and high for our difficulty. And the technologies I have, yeah, I have all of them, but they'll diffuse into our neighbors. So I forget what it's called, but the technology spreads over the border as people move around and people talk. So they're going to advance at a faster rate because I exist. Looks like our maize farm is almost done, and the construction sector is full. So I'm going to pop a construction sector up to the top. Oh no, we'll do the farm first, and then the construction sector after the farm. Yeah, now they're losing war score. And they're losing money faster, a lot more than me. I'm not losing any money anymore. So I'm going to look at my economy. The United States dollar becomes the world reserve currency. A new global monetary leader emerges. I wonder if that was a coincidence that I opened the economy and that happened. I should have opened this window up a lot sooner. Yeah, I don't know what any of this means. I'm considered a weak second order. Yeah, at first I thought I was gonna say, oh, I know what the B means, but it's I'm a weak second order economic power. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I have the highest credit rating in the world. Oh, it changed to B. So my national debt, okay, here's my debt. Right, 241,000 credit. Okay, the farm's finished. Let's check it out. We got farmers and slaves. So after the paper mill, we can build the infrastructures. And the infrastructures also have this setting on the bottom here called roads. So we can have basic roads, highways, expressways, and logistics hubs. Okay, so Mark Emmett is using his own personal funds to build a university in Michigan. And I will let him. It's just perfect. So now we have our university. Good. So the aristocrats are petitioning my government to enforce military discipline or agricultural investments. Okay. I can enforce military discipline after we pass this law a point on advance. And so I can build an observatory. I'm going to wait on that though. Let's go see if we can hire any scientists. No. No artists. I don't have a mechanic. Yeah, okay. So our university started to hire, and they produced business data. Oh, our balloon guy died in a balloon accident. Let's hire somebody else. Ezekiel Pierce. Man, that last guy didn't even get to go and fly in his balloon. He went up once and crashed. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to mobilize my army back up. We'll see if that helps our war score at all. Should. Well, I don't want them to cut me down to size. That would be embarrassing. So I guess we'll just stick it out. See how it works. Paper mill's almost done. Let's see, it needs how many more weeks? 19 more weeks. I guess that's not almost done. Construction sector is going pretty good. Yeah, raising my army did help. So I want to talk about this money here. So, first of all, the money is an arbitrary representation of our situation we're in. Credit is our current capital, the value of our capital that we can have. Okay, and that translates into the central bank, into this dollar. So depending on, yeah, I don't really know. I can't explain it. It's, see, if it says I'm in debt, I'm not in debt, is what I'm trying to say. Debt doesn't mean debt. It just means that I'm paying money to my pops. And it's gonna drive my inflation around. I don't know how to print more money or take money out. I can devalue it. Let's see, I can. Yeah, there's a few different things that I can do, but I'm not gonna worry about it until we're desperate. It'll get better once we start, these other nations start to open their own stock exchanges, and we start to trade currency back and forth, and we start to trade bonds back and forth. Each industry, maybe not all of them. See, there's a maize farm. Let me look around. Yeah, if a building is privately owned, it'll produce bonds, and the bonds will be taken in by okay, so it looks like our construction sector is making bonds, manufacturing stock, because it's owned by bank. When the government owns it, it doesn't make bonds. It doesn't make stock. Wish I had some boats I could send down there. And I could win this war a little faster. There is one thing. I want to go here to my mobilization. I want to give my army liquor. I'm going to give my army chocolate. Alright, it looks like our law, appoint on advice, has passed. So if I go into my government, and I look and see the prince is an aristocrat, and our government is the aristocratic interests. If I reform the government into the aristocrats in the military, I can take this military general and appoint him as a prime minister. Oh, it won't let me. Let me play a few weeks. Okay, I'll make him the interest group leader. I thought he already was. Okay, so now he's the interest group leader. They need to be powerful. They're not considered powerful. Alright, well, I'll just make this guy here the prime minister. The aristocratic, a minoritarian traditionalist. This leader believes in maintaining traditional customs, viewing them as an extension of natural laws. Good for you, buddy. So now that my sugar is more expensive, I should be able to hire some more farmers easier. This war with Ecuador is really ruining my day here. Alright, well, I'm just going to go ahead and declare war on New York. Taking it right now. I'm going to raise my conscripts. I'm going to add as many as I can all over. Get to the border. Low organization. Right. In views of the unacceptable conditions in some mental asylums, doctors and political figures are pushing for the practices to be reformed. Okay, so psychiatric and psychological research is making progress. Sorry about that, I was coughing to death. I turned my microphone off though. So let's see, if we go to humanitarian to the physician, still can't hire one. We need books and newspapers. Our balloonist is now experienced. Good. So now I'm building my infrastructure, and that's going to take 39 weeks. If I add a construction sector to Ohio, that's 22 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And war has broken out with me in New York. So I'm going to go ahead and conquer New York. After New York, I'll get Wisconsin. So $94 bills is worth 120 money, which is inflated by 18%. So now, for example, let's see, if it was $59, and if this number here was like only 50, so now it's 52 versus 54. That's because the inflation moved. Yeah, I don't know, but we took New York. Now we have a fishing wharf, a new logging camp. We have a trade center already built. Good. We have a manor house. There's some new aristocrats. What else does New York have? They have a... I'm going to build a port. Now the port needs to be a cargo port in order for it to make whatever the trade center needs. Let's see, what's it called? Merchant Marines. So we're going to build this port in New York, a cargo port, to produce merchant marines. But they're going to produce them by buying clippers. So they need to buy clippers. So there need to be, I'm going to make clippers at a shipyard, and they'll just be wooden ships. So here's our shipyard that we're building in New York to produce wooden ships. Just to begin, because we don't have any really other resources. So let's see. This construction sector that I own. Do I want to own buildings? -11 bureaucracy. So every building that I own costs 1 bureaucracy. So I'd like to sell them. I'm going to turn my microphone off for 2 seconds. All right. So it's May 4th, 1733. I should start reading off the date, whatever things happen. So I'm going to take my army and demobilize it. And then in 90 days, I'll remobilize. Idle legislature. Oh yeah, I forgot. They're supposed to enforce military discipline. I have 3 years left for the government petition. So yeah, I have time. Here's this one down here says, start a nuclear weapons program. Yeah, we're gonna definitely do that later. We need a research center. Sugar. We need more sugar. And that means I'm gonna build another maize farm. And I'm gonna build that maize farm after my infrastructure is done. I'm going to add our first consumption tax on liquor and on that's it, just the liquor. Our enforced military discipline has progressed to consideration. Good. Good, good, good. 10 more days till I could remobilize. Yeah, we can build these giant death robots later. But we need processors and robots and computer chips, all kind of stuff. For now, we'll move all these to the bottom of the list, well, the top of the list, but most primitive. The first thing we'll need is to upgrade to line infantry, which uses small arms. So after I get through building a railroad, I can put a gun manufacturer, start to build weapons, and I can sell those to my pops too. Certain wealth levels ask for weapons. Let me see. Consume Small arms are consumed by pops with wealth levels 20 to 99 for leisure needs. Okay. So I can mobilize my army back up. Enforced military discipline has attracted new supporters, increasing enactment success chance by 15%. Good. I don't know if I want those things to pop up and pause. I'm going to change that next time one of those fires off. So as soon as this infrastructure gets done, it's going to demand engines, which I don't have. It's going to be a little while before I build an engine. That's alright though. Alright, let's go for Wisconsin. Diplomatic play against Wisconsin to conquer their state. And today is Thursday, November 11th, 1733. I'm gonna bring those guys over here. I'm gonna ban dueling. Upton, Michigan. Alright, well these two guys want to duel. And I don't want them to. He's a moderate liberal and he's a yeoman farmer. Yeah, I'm gonna ban dueling. And I'm gonna build a second army. And this army is gonna have one conscript from each state. And I'll give him, every general is an aristocrat. So I'm gonna pick this guy because he's brave. So the second army will have a brave commander with 3 conscripts from our conquered territories. Second army, brave commander, 3 conscripts from our conquered territories. Yep, sounds like a good deal to me. I'm gonna mobilize all 3 and send them here to the front line. It would help to unpause the game. Any second now, that railroad is going to be completed. Then I can begin construction on the maize farm. Try to bring the sugar price down. Okay, infrastructure is done. First railway line. Yes, we can. Good. Now it is making money. Wow. That penalty is going to grow to 75%, and then it won't make any more money. But I do have basic roads. I have enough wood for passenger carriages. Yeah. Still is at 75% inefficient. That's fine. I don't have a single motor, so that makes sense. I don't know what they're being driven by. Probably horses. Alright, I passed the law from the government petition. Okay. So now this petition should fire off, and it'll give me +5 legislative ability, and the aristocrats will become more loyal. 5%. 5% of them. So now, after I build this farm, I'm going to come up here and I need to build newspapers. Publishing industry. Yeah, so that's giving me more construction. That's good. So now I'm going to do the same thing here in Pennsylvania. I'm going to put this construction sector on top. It's only going to take 18 weeks. But if there's people there who can work on one, I want them working in it. Get this 12 up to a 13 construction. No repeatable selected. So whenever that pops up, it just means that that's the basic. It won't repeat. It doesn't do anything. Religion. Okay, can't do that one. Police. I'm gonna do local police. Yeah, local police is what I'm going for. It will help the landowners, sure, but it's better than not having any. Finally, the war with Wisconsin has broken out. Looks like all these people are fighting up here. Holy cow. That's a lot of diplomatic plays going on all at once. Wow. Local police only will fail. Nobody will vote yes. No. The aristocrats vote yes. Bureaucrats vote yes. The business interests vote yes. Everyone else votes No. There's only 23 people who are part of the business interests group. Okay. Well, if local police is going to fail, I'm going to cancel that. And we're going to try to go for... nothing. I'm not going to go for any law. Took Wisconsin. Let's look at their buildings. They have a logging camp. Turtle Island. Nations of Turtle Island complete. Cool. Turtle Island. North America can become Turtle Island. If you turn it the right way, it looks like a turtle. I think maybe upside down. It's like that. That kind of looks like a turtle. Maybe it's the other way. Yeah, Turtle Island. Okay, Utah fell. Okay, I do want to form a power block. And I'm going to call it the Michigan Power Block. Yeah, I know. That's creative. Super creative. And we're going to have internal trade 1. It's going to give us more infrastructure and more convoys. Yeah, submit. There's still a few more nations that are part of this alliance against me. So our bureaucracy is starting to fall. So I'm going to go down here and build our first government administration building. And I'm going to throw it on top of the building queue. It'll take 11 weeks to finish. Okay, and now it does look like we have 13 construction because the construction sector in Pennsylvania is finished. So I'm going to come to New York. I'm going to build a construction sector. And I'm going to put it below our new government building. And now I'm going to go through here and I'm going to check, see what I can sell. I want to sell everything. Sell my livestock ranch. Try to sell my maize farm. Which the private sector wants bad, it seems. I'm going to sell the construction sector. Oh, here it is. Yeah, while I'm in my construction sector, I want to show this. This symbol is called overbuilt economy. And right now it's only a negative 1%. But if I overbuild my economy, this can get to negative 100%. And then I don't produce any more construction goods. And then this number here gets stuck at 10. Which I haven't decided if that's good or bad yet. I don't think it's good or bad. So I can establish my second company. And it looks like it's another bank. So I can pause it. And now the reason why that happened is because our infrastructure It's here and it's open and it has people employed. That's my guess. Let's open my buildings up and look through them. Central bank, no. Yeah, that's all of them. I don't need to check to see if to sell anymore. That one's for sale. That one. Oh yeah, I can click this buildings. I can open it. If I click here, building levels owned by me, I can check them. And I can mark all of them for sale. Not going to sell the railroad yet. New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so I have the New York Stock Exchange. That's pretty dope. Cool. Alright, so the new company. I can open JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, American Express Company. So what do they do? This one gives me 2% minting. That sounds great. Does any of the other banks give me a minting increase? Goldman Sachs gives me 2% minting. JP Morgan gives me 7% minting. Alright, I'm going to open JP Morgan, and it looks like it'll be in New York. Establish. JP Morgan in New York, September 20th, 1734. Great. It looks like this war is going to be over soon with Ecuador. That'll be nice. That'll help us out. Yeah, they're almost in the negative. Peace deal proposed. Hang on, they want a white peace? Yeah. Unpressed, there's no pressed, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'll accept. See you later. "17 more weeks until that construction sector is done in New York." Maybe Minnesota has its own. Minnesota doesn't have anything. Alright, well, let's go and conquer Minnesota. November 14th, 1734. Put a new conscript from Wisconsin in our 2nd conscript army. And we'll mobilize and raise the conscripts. So it looks like Ohio is attacking me from Kentucky, I guess. The Ohio front. Oh, it's the Ohio front because my state is Ohio. Six more weeks and the New York construction sector will be finished. It's January of 1735 now. It looks like the peasant movement, the pro-slavery movement, and the Michiganian suppression movement are all agitating. The bank J.P. Morgan has strengthened its holding of the currency of Michigan, considering the reference currency of international monetary system. Within the framework, the bank has acquired a total of $458, equivalent to 5,640 silver. 5,640 silver. The movement illustrates the monetary prestige of the issuing country. Alright, so let's go check that out. We're going to go to finance, I think. No. It'll be an economy. So it looks like I have $84 million in circulation. Okay. And I have 615 million reserve currency. Here it shows that currency held by private banks. J.P. Morgan holds $458. Cool. So now I'm starting to understand a little bit. I don't know how that helps or hurts. I don't. Something's going to change, but I'm not sure what. I do know that I need to get over here and get that silver. Silver, silver, silver. Okay, so the construction sector in New York just finished. Oh, that's the conscription sector. Here's the construction sector. Yeah, just finished. Yeah, so $13 should equal $13. That's a good even number. I want to keep that number that way. And I think that bank is going to help us on its own. Right? When our money gets worth, when our money drops in value, the bank's probably going to buy it. And then when the money increases in value, I'm sure that bank is going to sell it to make some profits. So it looks like we've gone into Kentucky and Minnesota. Now the maize farm has 6 weeks left. I'm going to add the observatory to the bottom of the list because I do want to build it. Need a construction sector here in Wisconsin. So I'm going to build that after the maize farm. You know, the more construction sectors I have, the faster I can build these buildings, the faster I can sell them to the public. I forgot that I have this tobacco plantation, so I'm going to add a tobacco tax. Okay, Minnesota belongs to me. I'm going to come in here and look through the buildings. And I see they don't have anything. And I'll put a construction sector into it, at least. Good. June 1735. Took Minnesota and started construction of the construction sector. So now I'm going to go for North Dakota or South Dakota. Let's see. South Dakota has more people. And that brings me closer to Colorado too. Yeah, I'm going to go for South Dakota and then Montana. I should take Indiana and Illinois too to connect my land. Yeah, I'm going to do that later. Do that later. So the manor houses is going to privatize the livestock ranch in Michigan as soon as it gathers enough money. So JP Morgan just bought $2,000. Let me click on the central bank. Let's go back to the economy and see what they have. And I have 8 million in circulation. And I have 1,045 units. of money. So that's like tons of money, maybe bundles or just 1,000 bills, like $5, $10, $100. All these numbers are basically arbitrary, right? They only matter because the other numbers exist. You know, you could move all the numbers evenly and they'd all calculate back the same. Like this tobacco plantation makes 93 tobacco, right? And this paper mill makes 24 paper. But that number only matters if you look at who consumes it. It's arbitrary. Or like for the maize, I make 20 fruit. What is it, 20 tons of fruit? Right? Is it 20 boxes? 20 crates? So while we're waiting for those to build, I do want to get that university up so we can start going through the Morgan mod stuff. An absent mind, the leader of the fascists, is not attending meetings or fulfilling his obligations. So I can send him to the doctor. He can go to an asylum. Or he goes to psychoanalysis. He's a fascist, huh? It has no stances. Extreme traditionalist. Yeah. Negligent environmentalist. We'll just send him to the doctor. I'm not going to be too mean. I'll just... whatever. I'm going to unclick all of these check marks for these formable nations. All right. As soon as this construction sector finishes, I'm going to declare my new war against South Dakota. It's almost 1776. Right now is December of 35. Yeah, in my other game without technology, by now, 1736, I would already only have enclosure, maybe manufactories, urbanization, and I would just be researching my university. Maybe one day I'll do a long playthrough with no technology start. Oh man, look at Tennessee. I'm not going to declare any new interests. I'll take the states out of the interests that I do have. That way I don't get a lot of pop-ups for different wars asking me if I want to join or not. We'll stick to one region, take the region over, colonize it, and then move on to a new region afterwards. Well, it looks like JP Morgan just bought some more money. They acquired more money. Okay. So if the bank acquires the money, they remove it from circulation, and that makes the money worth more, and the pop has a more valuable item that he can trade for a cheaper commodity. Let's look at some of our pops. Let's go to the barracks and let's look at the officer. There's 90 people in this population here. Middle class, they like their job. They're 43% literate. There's one radical. Looks like they spend most of their money on transportation. How's my infrastructure looking? It's not making any money, so it is losing. Construction sector is all the way filled up hired. So I'll take that and throw it right on top. Yeah. 7 weeks. GDP growth is not growing. So here's our list of population. And the biggest family of pops we have live in Pennsylvania on these subsistence farms. They're Yankees, and they don't like their job. What's their wealth level? 11. They're impoverished. But they can afford all their goods, plus they have a net income, so that means that their standard of living is increasing. Yeah, oh, and it has a little graph too. Alright, so if I go here to the maize farm, and I look at my farmers, it'll show their standard of living. Now overall, my standard of living looks like it's going down for the most part. So this construction sector is finished in Michigan. I have an 18% overbuilt economy, and I found oil. in Ohio. Hell yeah. Now with these oil fields, there's two options you can pick. You can encourage the trend and you get 100% migration attraction, 20% throughput, 50% oil industries, employees. But here, with the caution, you get 50% migration. This one has negative standard of living, right? So we don't want to do a full oil rush. Plus, we're not even using that much oil. So we're going to do caution. We're going to do proceed with caution for now. Later, after we get an oil economy developed, probably going to pick a different one, right? But yeah, so with everything going on, looks like we're finally starting to build the publishing industry. It'll take 57 weeks. The port will take 82 weeks. Yeah, so let me look. I'm going to build a livestock ranch first, because it'll only take a couple weeks. See, it looks like it'll take two weeks and a day. They accumulated more money. And here I go. Declare war on South Dakota. April 18th, 1736. Wonder if anybody will join. So now that I have a few construction sectors, I'll show that here. So I have more than 3 construction sectors. So if I have more than 3 of one building, I can start to think about upgrading the PM. If I only have one building, like if I only have one farm, and I upgrade this PM, like how it is, to citrus orchard, that means every single farm that I build is going to have citrus orchard. But if I have 10, for example, logging camps, let's say I have 10 logging camps, and this is the only one that has sawmills, a new logging camp is going to start with simple forestry. And that's what we want. We want the first building we build in each state to be the lowest tier, just so that we can see how it hires, what it looks like, if it makes money or not. Easy as you can get. I was looking for a mod to make that automatic, but I can't find one. If anybody sees this video and you know about a mod that makes it so the first building that you build always starts with the lowest PMs, that would be awesome. I would love to know about it. Okay, so it looks like South Dakota is not going to have any allies join them. So that's good for me. Four weeks until our livestock ranch is finished in Michigan. That'll bring us to Two of them. So, construction sector, I'm going to upgrade it to iron frame. No, I don't have any tools, and I don't have any iron. Disease of the brain. In psychiatry, the theory of evolution is accompanied by significant changes. A new generation of psychiatrists are postulating that mental illness are diseases of the brain. Scientifically oriented psychiatry is replacing the previously prevailing humanities view. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Alright, I get 30 academic progress and 60 academic progress. Okay, it looks like Iowa has joined South Dakota. Right at the last minute, too. Oh, here, this does say this financial stability office tells me that I can have an overbuilt economy. Cool. It says I have 0 construction sectors, but I have more than that. Total number of urban centers, current base rate of production, theoretical maximum construction sector level is 5. If the number of construction sector levels exceeds this theoretical maximum due to market conditions, the country enters an overbuilt economy. While in an overbuilt economy, the progress bar will increase by +1 each month, and its completion percentage will directly determine a negative modifier to financial product output. Right, because that'll decrease the throughput. Conversely, as long as the current level of construction sectors is below the maximum level, you can ask the private sector to build more in exchange for economic concessions. I don't know what that means. Reduction of available construction capacity is 0. Yeah. The speculative market currently represents 4.31% of the national gross domestic product. Okay, so that's fine. What's this say? A foreign manifesto. It recently translated works of this guy in exile who's a bureaucratic market liberal, who's Afro-Caribbean, have become popular with the liberal movements. The relationship has developed to a point where he wants to openly endorse our movement. Yeah. Awesome, thanks. And our balloonist is now a famous balloonist. Let's go check it out. 2 arms. War with South Dakota. We'll go look at that later. So here's our balloonist. He's gone 23,000 meters. And he's traveled 4,241 kilometers. And he's been in the air for 116 hours. Okay, so now this guy, this race car driver, Pekui, he's going to enter the first race. It says 1930, but it should say 1730. Alright, see you at the finish line. I'm going to raise and mobilize my second army. We get 1 conscript from Minnesota added in there. Alright, I set a new average speed record. It doesn't say how fast. We have a archaeologist finally. Great. He'll be useful. So let's go here and let's go to our science. Okay, the birth of Egyptology. Petals on the pavement. These people founded tourism, +2 income tax. Well, let's see here. Let me minimize all of these here. We'll go through all these. Oh wow, there's a lot of them. Egyptology unlocked. Alright. I'm going to save this right here. So we just got a lot of stuff. We got our engineer, we got a chemist, we got an astronomer. We got a geologist, a naturalist, a paleontologist, and a biologist. An archaeologist, a physician, and an anthropologist. Oh boy. We didn't get any artists. We didn't get any... Ooh. I can build a racetrack, so that's what I'll do. We can build a racetrack here in Michigan. Okay, so I got this whole list of things to go through. Alright, so I'm going to say this is the end of my episode. And the beginning of next episode, or maybe the whole episode, I'm going to go through each one of these Morgan mod things. The, whatever it's called. Morganite. Morgan Trey. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Alright, I'm the Michigan Mayor. I hope you had a good time watching this episode. I hope maybe you see the mod that you might like, and you might try it out for yourself if you didn't know about it, or even the game if you didn't know about the game. Now you do. Now you can go and check it out. It you can play it however you want. Okay. And if you just like Michigan, you know, you just want to see stories about Michigan, there you go. Uh, I am signing off, and I'll see you next time. Save my game again, just to be safe. Alright, that's it.